Welcome students. In our today's lesson we are going to learn about activity series of metals. Now there must be a question in your mind regarding why we are doing this activity series instead of doing different types of chemical reactions. Now we have learned in our previous classes that there are four different types of chemical reactions. They are combination reactions, then decomposition reaction, displacement reactions, and double displacement reactions. So we have already finished the first two types of reactions, and we are supposed to do two types of reactions now. They are displacement reactions and double displacement reactions. Now, why we are doing this activity series in the middle then? Now, there must be some reason to start this, and the reason is these two reactions. The later these two reactions are or will be understood more clearly if we know the activity series of metals. Without the understanding of this activity series of metals, we will not be able to understand this displacement reaction as well as double displacement reactions. Now let us understand what this activity series is. Activity series of metals is. Now this is a series in which metals are kept in order. Now order of what? Order of their reactivity. In the series, the most reactive metals are kept at the top, and as we move down, their reactivity decreases. Reactivity means their ability to react with other substances. So the activity series comprises different metals. There is only one non-metal which is in this activity series, and that is hydrogen. Hydrogen is not a metal, but still it is kept in this activity series of metals. Rest all are metals. Now let us try to understand this activity series in detail. Now if you see this activity series, like I have already told you that the metals which are at the top, they are most reactive, and as we go down, the reactivity keeps on decreasing, and as we reach at the bottom, the element which is at the bottom is platinum. Platinum is the least reactive metal among the metals in this series. Now we can understand different things from this activity series. The first one is all the metals which are above hydrogen. What are they? They are potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, nickel, tin, and lead. All these metals, they are above hydrogen, and that means they are more reactive than hydrogen. So therefore all these metals, when treated with acids are those substances which contains replaceable hydrogen atoms. So when they react with acids, they will all produce hydrogen gas. So all the metals which are above hydrogen in the activity series, they will always produce hydrogen gas when treated with acids. Now, so what about the metals which are below hydrogen? So these metals which are below hydrogen, that is copper, mercury, silver, gold, and platinum, these metals are less reactive than hydrogen atom. Therefore, they will not produce hydrogen gas when treated with acids. We can understand this in a layman's term in this way. Like stronger the person you are, the better the chances of removing the weaker opponent. Okay, so here all the elements which are above hydrogen, they are stronger or more reactive than hydrogen, so they will replace hydrogen, the weaker substance over here. Whereas the metals which are below hydrogen, they are weaker than hydrogen, they are less reactive than hydrogen, therefore they will not replace hydrogen. Now the same thing can be applied to other metals over here also. For example, those metals which are at the top, they can replace compounds of other metals which are at the bottom. Let's take one example. Let's take example of copper sulfate. Now, say suppose if we want to store copper sulfate solution in iron vessel. So copper sulfate is a compound, is a salt made of copper metal and sulfate ion. Now let's see what happens with if we store copper sulfate solution in iron vessel. Now let's go back to the activity series and let's check the activity of reactivity of these two metals. Here we have iron and copper, two metals involved. Two metals are involved here. So let's check in the activity series. Now if we see this activity series, where do we find iron? Here. So this is iron, and where do we find copper? Below hydrogen. Now if we compare their positions, which one is at the top? So iron is at the top. That means iron is more reactive than copper. That means iron is more powerful than copper. Therefore, powerful or reactive metal will replace weaker or lesser metal. So in this case, in this particular case, iron being more reactive or stronger, it will remove this copper, it will displace this copper, it will remove this copper, and therefore it will produce iron sulfate, because iron, once it removes copper, iron will take copper's place. And since copper has been removed from the compound, so copper will be left alone. So therefore copper metal will be produced. Remember, we started with iron, separate iron, and copper sulfate compound. Okay, we started with element iron and copper compound, copper sulfate. Now what are we getting as a result? At the end, we are getting iron compound and copper element. So copper has been removed by iron from the compound copper sulfate. Why? Because according to activity series, since iron is at higher position than copper, iron is more reactive than copper. Therefore, being more reactive, it will remove copper from the compound and will take its place, forming iron sulfate solution, and copper metal will be produced. That is why we never store copper sulfate solution in iron, because at the end copper sulfate solution will not be there. Instead of copper sulfate solution, what will be produced? Iron sulfate solution will be produced. So this is the importance of knowing activity series of metals. So if you know the series with proper positions of each metal, then it will be easy for you to write any chemical reaction involving displacement or double displacement reaction. But the important task is you have to learn the series, memorize the series, and it is a little difficult to memorize it because there are many metals involved over there, and you have to learn or memorize this series in correct order, then only it will be useful. So I'll give you one mnemonics which will help you to remember the activity series in an easy way. So I'll give you that mnemonics. So activity series metals. To remember the activity series, you can learn this mnemonics. The mnemonic says, केदारनाथ का माली आलू जरा फीकी नहीं spicy पकाता है. And why he always used to cook this aloo spicy? Because he always wanted himself to be called good by others. Therefore, after here, what we'll remember? Call me something good, please. So that Mali always used to hear good things about himself by others. So the mnemonics, I'll repeat the mnemonics again. केदारनाथ का माली आलू जरा फीकी नहीं स्पाइसी पकाता है. क्योंकि why? He always used to call me something good, please. So now let's see the moral of this story. Kedar, Kedar. So for chemistry, we will learn, for activity series, we will learn Kedar, the first letter of Kedar, K, that is potassium. Nath, so we'll take Na, that is sodium. Ca, Ka, Kedarnath Ka, Ka, so we'll take it as Ka only because this is calcium. And M, Mali, so we'll take M, magnesium, Mg. Then Alu, so we'll take A, Alu, aluminium. Zara, so Z, and we'll take zinc, Z and zinc. Fiki, so F, we'll take it iron. Nahi, so we'll take N and I, so this is nickel. Then spicy, so from S we'll take S and tin. Pakata, so from Pakata we'll take P, so this is Pb, lead. Now He, so we'll write this as hydrogen. So this is our hydrogen. This is the only non-metal present in this activity series. Then we'll go to the metals which are below hydrogen. Col, so we'll take C only and we'll put U, so this is copper. Me, mercury, so the symbol of mercury is Hg. Something, so we'll take S again, S, but this is silver, so I'm sorry, silver, so this, instead of silver we'll take Ag. So we'll remember S for silver, but the symbol of silver is Ag. Then good, we'll take G, gold, G for gold, but the symbol of gold again here is Au. And finally from please we'll take P, and from P we'll take platinum. So the activity series is potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, nickel, tin, lead, hydrogen, copper, mercury, silver, gold, and platinum. And the activity series decreases as we move down the series. The most reactive metal is potassium and the least reactive metal is platinum. I hope this mnemonics helps you to remember the activity series in a quicker or an easy method. You can make your own mnemonics. If you find this difficult, you can make your own mnemonics and try it. Okay, so for today's class, I suggest you to learn this activity series, make it by heart, so that in our next class, when we come back and do the remaining types of chemical reaction, it will be very easy for you to understand the displacement as well as double displacement reaction. I'll once again repeat this mnemonics for you. केदारनाथ का माली आलू जरा फीकी नहीं spicy पकाता है. Why he used to cook spicy? Because he always wanted to others to call him good. Call me something good, please. Is that okay, boys? So this much for today's class. Stay safe and do all things well. Bye-bye.